Oh, you have so much to say.
They said this pit bull was too dangerous to save. Everyone called Brutus a monster. At barely 15 pounds, a skeleton wrapped in fear, he should have weighed 70. 30 seconds after stepping through his forever home's door, this rescue dog did something that left the entire family speechless. His massive, scarred body started moving, and what happened next shattered every stereotype about rescue dogs you've ever believed. This is Brutus's story, and it will absolutely break your heart. When the rescue team discovered Brutus trembling on the cold streets of Birmingham, his emaciated body told a heartbreaking tale no living creature should endure. His ribs jutted out like prison bars beneath paper-thin skin. You could count every bone, trace every vein desperately pulsing beneath the surface. His dull, matted black coat was covered in scars, battle scars from years of brutal abuse that carved deep wounds into his soul. Those eyes were hollow oceans of abandonment, drowning in rejection and fear. This dog that should have weighed 70 pounds was barely 15 pounds, almost nothing but skeleton, his skin the only thing holding his bones together. Each time a human hand reached toward this rescue dog, Brutus flinched violently, pressing his fragile frame against the freezing pavement. His terrified eyes expected another blow, another betrayal. The trauma had convinced him that pain was all humans offered. But beneath that fear, something flickered. Tiny, fragile, barely alive, but hope was there. The volunteers from the shelter knew they had to act immediately. The veterinarian examination at the rescue center revealed the full brutality. Multiple fractures healed incorrectly, burn scars covering his body, and evidence of prolonged starvation that nearly killed him. The vet estimated this massive breed had been surviving on the streets for months, maybe longer. How he hadn't died was nothing short of a miracle. Every single day was a desperate battle between life and death. During those first days at the rescue center, Brutus remained withdrawn, locked behind cold metal bars in his own private hell. He refused to eat, barely touched water, spending endless hours curled in the furthest corner of his kennel. The shelter staff tried everything: soft blankets, gentle words, infinite patience. But Brutus had been hurt too many times. Trust was a luxury this broken soul couldn't afford. If you're watching this and haven't subscribed yet, I'm a little heartbroken. Rescue stories like Brutus's need your support to reach people who believe in second chances. Hit that subscribe button right now. You won't regret it. Now, back to what happened next. Then came the day everything changed. A family walked into the rescue center, not looking for a pit bull, not searching for a massive dog everyone called dangerous. They were looking for a soul that needed saving, a gentle giant hidden beneath scars and fear. When they walked past Brutus's kennel, something extraordinary happened. Despite his terror, despite every reason to hide, this traumatized rescue dog looked up. For the first time in weeks, he made eye contact with humans. The family froze completely. They didn't see the scarred body or hear warnings about taking on such a damaged, intimidating dog. They saw a loyal heart waiting for someone to finally trust him. Against all advice, against fear, they made the choice that would transform two lives forever. They signed the adoption papers. Brutus was going home.
The car ride to his forever home was silent, except for Brutus's rapid breathing. His 15-pound body trembled in the back seat, bones locked tight, waiting for everything to fall apart again. He'd learned hope was dangerous. Good things never lasted. When they pulled into the driveway, his heart hammered like a prisoner desperate to escape. They opened the car door slowly. Brutus didn't move. His fragile body froze between wanting to run and wanting to stay. The dad extended his hand, not grabbing, not forcing, just offering. Offering trust. Offering something this rescue dog hadn't experienced in so long: safety. Slowly, painfully slowly, Brutus stepped out. His tiny paws touched the driveway, and everything hung in perfect balance. The family held their breath. Would he bolt? Would this massive breed, trapped in a starving body, reject them the way the world rejected him? They walked toward the front door, and Brutus followed. 1 step, 2 steps, 3. Each movement felt impossible for his weakened frame. The mom opened the door wide, and warm light spilled onto the porch like liquid gold. She stepped inside first, then the dad, then their little girl who'd been begging for a dog her entire life. They turned back to see Brutus standing on the threshold between his old life and something new, between the streets that nearly killed him and the home that wanted him, between being unwanted and being loved unconditionally. Nobody pushed, nobody pulled. They simply waited, giving this broken soul the power to choose his own fate, his own destiny. And then, with every ounce of courage left in his beaten 15-pound body, Brutus took that final step. His massive paw, still oversized despite the starvation, crossed the threshold into his forever home. In the exact moment his body entered that house, something inside him exploded. Every wall he'd built came crashing down instantly. Every defense, every layer of protection evaporated like morning fog under blazing sun. What happened next left everyone completely paralyzed, frozen in disbelief. Time stopped. Reality glitched. Nobody breathed.
Brutus started dancing. This 15-pound pitbull, this scarred, traumatized rescue dog everyone called too dangerous, began moving with pure joy exploding from every cell in his fragile body. His enormous paws tapped the wooden floor like drums celebrating freedom. His tail wagged so violently it created windstorms that shook his skeletal frame. He spun in circles, mouth open in the biggest smile ever carved into a dog's face. Pure euphoria. The family stood frozen, tears streaming down their faces. The little girl burst into sobs. The mom collapsed to her knees, overwhelmed by emotion radiating from this gentle giant everyone had given up on. This rescue dog moved like lightning between them, his eyes, those same hollow eyes from the shelter, now sparkling with unconditional love. He pressed his scarred nose against the little girl's tiny hand, and she wrapped her arms around his neck, whispering, "You're safe now. You're home." Today, 5 years later, Brutus is a 175-pound love monster drooling uncontrollably while trying to locate his food bowl. This gentle giant believes he's a lapdog, sprawled across the couch with his head on someone's lap. His transformation proves unconditional love heals the deepest wounds. If this story touched your heart and you're still not subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. What would you do if you found a rescue dog like Brutus? Tell me in the comments below. If this story moved you, hit that like button so more people can discover incredible rescue stories like this.